Wake up, people! God damn it! I see you guys over there. It's all late at night, even though there's other shows that we're usually more late, but it's okay. Anyways, the last main show of the week, except for 8-Bit Crumbs, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Here's the thing: it's a Double Dose of Pre-Show. We're here, hanging out with you guys, talking about shit that's a little bit older, but it's not a big deal. I am joined by the wonderful, the beautiful, the crazy Jet Jackson.
I was like, I wonder how he's gonna end that. Is that me or Jet?
I don't. Why would you still be confused? That'd be fucking weird. But
You were definitely talking about Alan.
I was not. He is crazy though.
I am beautiful.
But you're not crazy beautiful. No, don't you dare. Don't you dare, good sir.
I don't know. Let's ask the chat.
You know what? Actually, let's ask the chat. Yes, absolutely, chat. Who do you guys think is more beautiful, Alan?
No. That's
Jet?
an unfair question.
What?
Do not ask me who's more because they're obviously gonna say Jet. They've seen their photos. Just ask me.
Not everyone in this chat has seen me. They're definitely gonna vote for you because they see your nice, pretty little face every day.
Oh, not in comparison, just in general.
Yeah,
Damn
it.
it.
Apparently,
I mean,
Penelope doesn't think you're fucking. Penelope doesn't think you're pretty. Fucking. It's like the cat. It's like the bird's trying to fucking throw up or something. But the thing is,
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, Alan, here.
Yeah. Alan.
Look, the question about more. No. The question is just in general. That's what you gotta ask him.
Well, you know what though? I'll go ahead and introduce you in a nice way too, guys. And I'm also joined by the very feathery, the very hairy. That pretty much means the same thing. I'm fucking stupid. It's
Not
Alan.
really. Feathers and hair are completely different things. But sure.
Well, like
continue to be
the
wrong.
human equivalency of fur.
No, because animals have hair as well.
Yeah, well, you know, like, I'm just saying, like, you are a bird in spirit. You are a bird man. You named yourself that. This is a thing that you actually
I didn't actually name myself. You know nothing about me.
You wrote that shit in the fucking thing. Like, someone made your account
know,
for you. Mommy
I
and daddy
didn't.
do it for you? Like, what the fuck?
No, Anthony. Back in the day, he gave me the nickname.
Dude, but when I first saw you, your name was Birdman. When you first talked to me before you even knew I worked for Double Toasted, you were
Yeah. And who did I meet first? I met Anthony first, and then he introduced me to you.
Wow, I like how you
Worst decision ever.
Yeah, no, it was a. What did I agree with that? See the segues? I'm just like agreeing I'm a piece of shit. Right, first saying Alan's a penguin from Batman Returns. Nick is Jack Nicholson's Joker. That's an insult to both of us.
Oh, really? I'm not that short.
I fucking hate Jack Nicholson's Joker. That's the thing. Like, everyone's like, oh my god, Joker this, Joker that. And like, yeah, dude, like, Heath Ledger was the shit. I was about to say Heath Slater from WWE. But like, he was a shit. Joaquin Phoenix was awesome. But like, it started off with that, with Dark Knight. Joker and all the other things with Joker, like Cesar Romero, those were so fucking hammy and stupid and dumb.
They kind of were supposed to be, like, especially Cesar Romero's. It was Adam West's Batman. It was like, well, Batman's very dark and brooding. Let's just kind of make this kind of a funny.
But dude, who decided to make this more serious? Because like, that's the thing. Like, if it was silly like this back in the day, why did it change? Because it's fucking stupid. Sorry.
Well, the thing is, you gotta understand Batman's always had a weird mentality of how people perceive him. Because, like, you have the comics where he's very dark, but they're like, well, we want to make it for kids, but we can't have this guy who goes around beating the shit out of people being dark. So let's do the Adam West, where it's a bit more family friendly, a bit more comedic. We'll do a little bit of action, but it's a bit, funnier. But then people, that basically got run into the ground. But people were like, well, we want a little bit of a darker tone, something that's more comic accurate. So we get Tim Burton, hilariously enough. And then he makes a very dark movie. Yeah, Jack Nicholson is still very crazy, but you have a more darker tone compared to the Adam West.
Well, he's dancing to Prince when he's knocking all his pictures, and it's like...
Oh, I mean, true, but they also have, like, active murder and a lot of, like... The Joker himself is very comedic, but the rest of the movie itself has a lot of dark tones, especially with its imagery. But then people are like, well, no, that's too dark. We want stuff for kids again. Joel Schumacher comes in and makes Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. The problem is, that second one tanks the franchise. Everyone hated Batman and Robin because of how bad it was. So people are like, well, let's go back to comic accurate Batman. Well, we have Christopher Nolan comes in and does his Batman stuff. And people are like, well, Batman's too dark. So Lego Batman comes in.
But what about Batman the Brave and the Bold?
Cat Burglar, thank you very much. By the way, I thought his name was Cat Burglar. I'm going to be honest, dude. I think that your screen name was a typo because Cat Burglar 100 is way too good of a nickname to accidentally write Cat Burger.
It's okay, so, Nick doesn't know how to read.
No, it just says Cat Burger.
I know.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I still don't know how to read.
I read it right. It's Cat Burger. I'm just saying Cat Burglar would have been better.
You did have Jet whispering into your ear.
What? What the hell? What does this mean? What are we talking about?
I know words scare you.
All I said was I like his name. The thing is, though, we did start off with me yelling about his name, him being Birdman, and yeah, he still says, "Oh, Anthony named me that." But yeah, but I'm saying when you wrote your screen name and you typed your little fucking feather hands.
Yes, I went with it because I thought it was a cool dick name. Because most of my other nicknames were fucking terrible.
Did you say dick name?
Yeah, I named my dick Birdman.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, it's probably as big as a beak, right? No, the thing is, I'm looking over here in the chat. I'm Lost Miracle. What's up, man? How you doing? Yasuba
Yeah, fuck you. How do I work with you?
I don't know, dude. I don't even know how I work with myself. You know, I'm a piece of shit.
I mean, like, there's different types of beaks out there. I mean, think about like a seagull's beak.
That's true. That's a pretty big dick.
More of a pelican.
You know what? I'm gonna
look
it up.
Nothing to nobody.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm not gonna
look up a pelican.
I'm gonna look at pelicans. I'm curious. Oh, bro, Alan, you were packing, sir. Holy shit!
I just picked like the weirdest one off the top of my head.
Lucky. You got lucky with that one, brother.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Don't poke anyone's eye out now.
Alan over here just like, what's up, ladies?
I don't know. Some ladies are into that.
Oh man, you know, I think we need to go back and do that whole hashtag get Alan or get Birdman laid thing again.
Oh my god! Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
With the beak like this, Alan. We got.
No, y'all got too crazy with that because we went on like a trip like around that time, and I was like worried that like random people were just come out the woodwork. That apparently y'all just coerced this.
No, we're not gonna try that fucking hard. We're trying to enjoy our night.
I don't know, man. Y'all are fucking nuts.
Because I'm thinking too is like Alan's over there at the bar hanging out with everybody having a good time. He's like, I'm scared I might get pussy. Oh no. Oh god.
Look at this community. Yes, I am.
Oh Jesus Christ. You know, you're lucky that Christian wasn't there. Else you definitely would have got pussy. Get it? Because he's a pussy? I don't know.
No, Christian is a valued member of the DT community.
Actually, someone asked me about this recently. Just want to let you guys know.
Don't answer them.
Well, no, because I made a joke and it sounds like I'm being mean, but I actually want to give an update to Daily Double Talk. So, some people were asking me, "Hey, man, are you gonna do like a pre-show or a post-show to Daily Double Talk?" I might still do middle-of-the-day shows for that, but Corey and Christian are actually reworking that. So, you might have a show on Friday or Saturday with them or whatever, but whatever it is going to be different. So make sure to email Corey at kcoolmans@gmail.com, and he'll explain all that stuff or whatever probably on the show, unless he already has.
What does he do the Daily Double Talk, by the way?
Usually like 2 o'clock on Mondays and Fridays.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 o'clock CST for anyone. I mean, I was saying this in our private chat, but I'm so used to the double toasted spectrum of like community and timing and all that stuff that I run my life through CST, Central Standard Time.
Yeah.
So like literally like someone will call me or have an appointment with me or something, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll see you at 2 CST, and they're like, yeah, that's great, but like, I mean, I want to look like Arizona. Like, we're in the same state. Let's kind of work with that. And it's just I feel fucking stupid because like.
Oh no, dude, that happens to me because again, most of the people I know live in different time zones. So the only way to really coordinate is we coordinate around CST. And now my brother texted me today, "Hey, you want to do something at 8:30?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Wait, when do I do the show?" Was that 8:30 CST? That might be me show. I'm like, "Wait, he lives in the same house as I do."
Yeah. Mauricio, you know what? And this is a funny thing. I think I hear a little ding ding. Let me see. Oh, this is we have one of our co-hosts back over here. What's up, Ganja Guru? I don't know if you can hear me.
Get out.
Never.
Yeah. Leave.
Right now, something 2000.
You don't know the entire fucking song. Glad you bothered.
I know. Hi, Alan.
Hello.
Hey, hi.
You're getting like almost Jesus length now.
So what I'm gonna do is
Oh, I actually cut my hair.
So I'm going to do a little bit of reiteration for the people who haven't watched the show in the last month. This is our other co-host with this girl probably over there too named Roxana, but this guy, this is Ganja.
Hello.
I said Roxana. I'm so used to Google Hangouts saying Roxanne, not Roxana or whatever.
No, Mauricio, we didn't go to South Florida. We actually went to go visit her folks up in the unnamed state because I don't think Roxanne wants to tell y'all guys just in case you try to bomb her parents or whatever the fuck y'all craziness are up to. But besides that, we were out there in the good old Midwest. That's about as much I'm going to give you. And I saw all kinds of shit.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later on probably when I'm doing the Dropbox video for Corey because we're going to get through some reviews and all that good stuff. If you guys have any questions for Ganja or anything like that.
This Roxy just showed up. You want to talk to her real quick?
Rox, what's up?
Hi.
Hey, how you doing? Why do you sound like you're in the bathroom? You're not taking a shit, are you?
No, I'm waiting for my bath bomb to dissolve so I can get in the bathtub.
Wait, so you're going to do the show while you're in the bathtub?
Yeah, I gotta relax. I've been working all day. I've been putting in mad fucking overtime, and I'm drained.
Oh,
not only that, she had a problem where we got pretty good tickets, but the seats we got apparently, like, I guess the way she was sitting ended up like making her ass go numb, so she woke up like doing the stanky leg walking to the baggage claim.
Yeah, my tail, like literally, no fucking joke, my tailbone hurts.
I thought you said
Really
your
fucking
tail
bad.
hurts. I was gonna be like, oh shit, I knew she had a
Yes.
tail. Like, what the fuck?
Rachel wants you to sing the Rubber Ducky song, babe.
Oh God.
Rubber ducky, you're the one.
Rubber ducky, I like fun.
Quack, quack, quack.
However it goes.
Yeah, some shit like that. Catburger over there saying okay with the sad cat face. I don't know. I think like Catburger is upset that he's not like taking a bath or whatever. What's that shit called again?
It's a bath bomb.
I mean,
Okay.
you got it.
Yeah, you got it, babe.
But it's
More
just weird.
specifically,
You
well,
just
do you
called
want the
Nick Babe, that's
flavor?
good.
Yeah, he just called me babe. I'm fucking blushing.
Fucked up, right? It's just been me and Roxy for 3 weeks.
And yet you still remember who's real, who's really the owner of that Bussy,
Who's
bro.
real?
Calm down, baby girl.
Yeah.
Who's real? Or it was just all schizophrenic images in Ganja's mind.
Yeah.
We've all been called babe at this point, honestly. Alan's been
And it's
called
all
babe.
by Ganja.
Except Jeb, I call her bra.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true,
accurate.
bro.
But no, dude. So here's the thing. I know it's gonna be one of those situations where just me and Alan talking the entire time, and Jet today because of the whole anime stuff. So I apologize to Ganja and Roxy for that. So before we even get into that thing, I'm gonna ask one more question. How was your New Year's, Mr. Ganja Guru?
That was great, actually. We hung out with her mom. We just got to watch the ball drop. It was actually a very calm New Year's, compared to the chaos that was Universal Studios last year, which more than sure that we got exposed to COVID by it.
Yeah. The fucking. Well, you guys felt the effects of that. Luckily, I didn't, but I'm pretty sure I had the shit too. EL1A1 it. That is one confusing ass
His name
fucking
is
name.
Eli, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I like it. But no, he's saying hey, and then he has like a little potato there. What's that? No, it's a hand with money.
And Nick doesn't know how to read.
That's not reading you. How do you look stupid in this situation?
How did I make
Yeah.
that? Okay, you don't know how to recognize images then.
That's a hand wave.
Yeah, it's a
Like, saying
hand.
hi.
But how would that even slightly have to do with me being dumb? Like I can't read. It's like I'm dumb in a
pretty
different way.
Yeah. I'm just keeping up this narrative that you don't know how to read and seeing until someone calls me out in the chat.
Well, they should because you don't know how to spell.
Remember, Jet just whispers the words into his ears. That's why she's always quiet during the shows.
Dude, you know what? I I feel like doing. If you say I can't read one more time, I'm gonna go to your Facebook page. I'm just gonna fucking go through all the horrible spelling that is years of stupidity on that fucking page.
Okay, by the way, I want to point out that you trying to expose my stuff doesn't make you any smarter.
Okay, dude, I'm gonna do it. I'll do it, Alan. This will be the best show we ever did. This will be the best show we ever did. This will be the best show ever because I got fucking material for days.
I don't give a shit. Then we'll go through your fucking Facebook.
I mean, if we go past
You guys are
2019,
good. Thank
it
you,
starts to get
Eli.
questionable.
Look, by the way, Eli, I don't know if that's your actual name, but we've been calling you Eli. Thank you, Eli, for saying we're good.
Yeah, thank you. No, I appreciate that, man. You guys are good. No, man, but let me see. I'm actually going through Facebook right now. Okay, this is a long one.
Yeah, fuck you.
This might be bad, guys. This might not be funny, but I'm gonna try to. It says finish another playthrough Mass Effect 1. I think most of the game still holds up. The story's fantastic and the main missions are great. I think the open world. God damn it.
Did you just read it and I bet there's a spelling error in there? Like, fuck you, dude.
That's the first time he didn't fuck up. Come on.
Oh, no,
man.
it isn't. It happens a lot, but you're so far up your own ass. You just assume I'm always making mistakes.
Did you fix it all? You went back and fixed it
No.
before this
Yeah, I
conversation,
fixed
huh?
it live on show while you're doing there. Yeah.
You should have
It's
just
not
asked
typing.
me for a screenshot because I usually screenshot when Alan fucks up real bad.
Yeah, and I normally would, but I really thought it was going to be that easy. I feel stupid. This is my fault, people. I look dumb at the end of the day.
It means that you don't know how to read.
Yeah, well, no, I know how to read. I can't read your shit. Anyways, here's the thing, though. Wait, what the fuck does this mean? Starting the year off by doing a playthrough of Mass Effect games, I wonder how many texture packs I can shove in me before it crashes. Oh, Mass Effect 1!
That's ME1. That's the, I wonder how many texture packs I can shove in Mass Effect 1.
I thought you said
Read,
shoving
Nick,
you.
read!
I thought you said shoving you.
Alan's gaping hole.
Imagine just... Alan just...
We have a show to do. We have 91 people watching us. Can we give them
I'm
content?
fucking sorry. Dude.
Oh, we're giving them content, all right. We're giving them
We're
ads.
doing live Facebook fucking timeline reading, apparently.
Dude, I literally
Hey,
gave...
look.
Anyone who watch right now, I just gave you guys the opportunity to just think of Alan cramming, like, texture packs up his ass. Like, you're welcome.
If you want to get that out of your mind, if you follow me on Facebook, you'll get plenty of notifications for the
Are
Illuminati
you
and
still on
Metropolis.
OnlyFans? Like, why are you advertising after that?
Because fuck it, I might as well use the fucking time.
If you too want to see Alan busted wide open, check out his Instagram.
No.
I mean, I think that might be allowed.
Someone call
Jada
me?
Jemba
What the
saying,
fuck?
did someone call me? Gaping hole here? Oh,
And
fucking
Julian
great.
using all of his grammar qualities by being able to just punch a bunch of random symbols into. He just kind of think of places he got.
I will be right back as Corey's calling me. You guys talk with the chat for a second.
Wait,
I apologize.
about what?
So, Alan,
I
can I
mean,
ask for tips?
Sure.
How you get stuff
breathe.
in there?
Breathing is important.
Breathing, hoping, saying your prayers every time you wake up in the morning. All those
God.
things definitely help.
Okay, how much lube?
Not enough.
And natural.
The
Wait, what?
Your body will naturally produce it.
In your ass?
Yeah.
Damn, that was a nice.
works,
That
man.
laugh had rhythm, by the way.
Because you didn't miss a beat in your ass.
Yes.
Dude, I want to like remix Ganja's laugh.
Yes. Mass Effect 1 does still hold up, even though it's been like 12 years. I think
Does it
it's been-
hold
it's
up in
like-
your ass, or does it hold up
Yes,
like in
it
other
does.
ways? Okay, that's good. No, but the thing is, I remember like you said, it does hold up. But how about Mass Effect 2? Because that's the big one that everyone's always like, "Hey, man, like that really fits in Alan's ass."
It's weird because I got played in maybe like 3-4 hours. What? What the?
You just missed the way he set you up, and it was great.
I don't care. So I start playing a bit more of Mass Effect 2, and one of the things that that's over. Reviews, so they actually got what they came here for. Fucking Christ.
I'm sorry,
They
no.
were for children.
Looney Tune Max saying he loves Mass Effect 2. Yeah,
Yes.
dude. I do. I think Alan does too. But no, dude, no, that's cool. That's great. Here's the thing, though, Alan. We're
What's
a little
up?
bit late on this. It came out last Friday. I believe last Friday. I could be wrong because I'm wrong about a lot of things. But the thing is, though, is that and it's funny that Ganja's here because he was actually one of the people that we first watched this with because he kind of shoved it down our throats. But it made sense though because it was really, really good. Cobra Kai season 3 finally came out. I actually spent some time watching the other seasons today. I watched like the end of Cobra Kai season 1, all of season 2, and then all of season 3. It took fucking forever to finish all this shit.
I mean, not really. It's like 30 minutes per episode. It's probably only took like 2-3 hours.
The math on that. If there's 10 episodes per season and it's 30 minutes per episode, how did the fuck did that take 2 hours?
I said a couple of hours, but sure.
Oh, god damn you.
It's like, he's so busy. He's trying to be, I gotta one up him. Every single time I say a fucking word, he's like, "You're stupid." It's like, well, if you listen to me.
Were y'all fighting this hard while we're gone, or is just in front of us?
No, this
Yeah.
only happens when Kanja's around. Well, no, actually, yesterday
I
you
mean,
fucking...
It is his fault, by the way. You and your other chuckle brother here always gang up on me.
Well, I mean, I can't fit too much. You got all those textures from Mass Effect 1 up your ass. I don't know what the fuck to do.
By the way, I put a lot of textures in Mass Effect 1. That game crashed like 4 times. I want to point that out. That game crashed a lot.
Well, because it's been in your ass. What do you expect?
I mean, it's usually warm.
Yeah, but no, the thing is,
Oh.
though, looking at this, man, I don't know what you're expecting with Cobra Kai Season 3, but for me, I was kind of thinking, like, okay, this is where they're going to start kind of, kind of meandering around the same storyline arc, same storyline points, these characters, especially Kreese. I was like, okay, this is going to get a little cartoony with this villainy. But, dude, I was really shocked to know that I was fucking wrong about all that, man. I think that this one has probably a lesser amount of action and probably something I would grade less as far as quality, as far as action, but they make up for it in storytelling like a motherfucker. But I'm going to ask you, what do you feel about the entire series in general, especially with Season 3?
The entire series, because I remember only really watching the first Karate Kid when I was a kid, and that was like 20 years ago. So when I heard they're doing Cobra Kai, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? They're gonna do a sequel to Karate Kid 40 years later. This is gonna be some bullshit. So we sit down and watch it, and I love action choreography, so it got me immediately with the very first fight that show has outside the pizza parlor. I'm like, this is, again, the camera works well, the action is great, the actual moves they're doing are really, really interesting. It's a lot of choreography I like to see where it's one person fighting 3 people, and he basically does it pretty well. And immediately I was into the show. So I'm like, what else does the show have? And it was a really good modernization of the original messages of the show of confidence will help you get through, but it wasn't talking down to the kids. And that's something that always bothers me about like modern shows. They always feel the need to talk down about the current generation, saying, oh, the current generation, you don't know anything. Back in my day, stuff was tough. And it's like, no, they're acknowledging that oh yeah, you better keep that fucking counter up. I'm gonna mention 18 times by the time the show ends. Anyway, the show doesn't talk down to kids. It doesn't treat like the new generation as they're somehow worse or inferior. It does treat their problems like they matter, and especially the character where he's kind of an idiot. He doesn't really know modern stuff, especially with the whole running gag if he has no idea how the internet works, which is still fucking hilarious. He has no fucking idea how it works.
Yeah.
But he does treat it with the biggest strength. It's like, yeah, he doesn't understand how cyberbullying works, but he basically goes, what the fuck? Those guys are pussies. He says that a lot in the
Yeah.
show. treating them like, what the fuck? They don't have the balls to come up to you? Okay, you know what? We're going to give you some confidence. So the next time they walk up to you, you'll actually, be able to stand up for yourself. And a lot of those messages are important. And the first 2 seasons had a lot of that stuff, a lot of good messages, a lot of heart, and a lot of great action. I said this like 2 weeks ago. The fucking season finale fight of season 2 was going on concurrently with Game of Thrones. Yeah. It had a better season 2 finale than Game of Thrones had in that 3rd fucking episode. A way better fight. Yeah. Some of the best choreography I saw that fucking year. So what I was expecting with season 3 was, especially season 2 ends kind of dark. So I'm just like, well, you need to establish getting back to a status quo where the characters are able to interact. But what exactly are the consequences of that gigantic fight that happened? So I was like, well, do a lot of that stuff, but like also like this rivalry between Johnny Lawrence and Daniel Russo, like I need this to get somewhere that's not just the same shit. Because every time they meet each other, oh, I can't believe you're here. Well, I can't believe you're here. That's the last time I talked to you. Man, fuck you. It's always the same dynamic. So I'm like, I need this to be resolved.
Yeah, and meandering through that point, by the way, was kind of annoying because, like, here's the thing. I totally understand the situation as to, like, okay, it ended pretty dark in season 2. You can't just kind of, like, go past that and not give a fuck. It's kind of important. But the thing is like, they pulled, and I mean, people like, Julian, you got another counter to do right now because I'm going to bring up Walking Dead and other shit that I like, wrestling, etc. But Walking Dead, my first time referencing this on this fucking review, the Carl Grimes thing. Remember in season 2 when he got shot and then he stayed on that fucking storyline for like 3 or 4 episodes? And in total, because Walking Dead's an hour-long show, that's about 4 hours. Like nearly around 4 hours, maybe a little bit more than 3, whatever the case may be. It's too fucking long to do the exact same storyline, no matter how good it's written, no matter how good the acting is. And over here in Cobra Kai season 3, we don't stop with the whole Miguel can't walk until fucking episode 6. And it's like, granted, there's other storylines going on. That's something that this show has, is so many strengths of the other characters and other storylines. But my God, like, you kind of just, I'm like thinking in my head, like, did Miguel have other shit to do? Like, the actor, do you have other shit to do? And you're just like, hey, you're going to just lay in this bed forever.
Kind of had to, because he suffers a very traumatic injury at the end of season 2. So the fact that it's like next episode, it's like he'd be fine and be like, you kind of need to let it go. And it's like, honestly, I liked it because it was less about Miguel himself getting the development, because he needs to kind of get back to what he was in season 1 before the karate kind of turned him to an asshole. But he also had Johnny Lawrence's character where he's him trying to get back to normal, like him trying to basically get back to like being, because he basically regresses. He regresses all the way back to season 1 where he's just a loser that doesn't care about life and he's going around getting drunk. But like as a result of him actually caring about Miguel, he starts to get his life back together. And I think that's important for his character as well, where he starts to realize it's like, hey, he can be something if he's willing to try. He's trying to teach his kids to stand up for themselves, to fight, but he himself isn't willing to do that. So him fighting, because he has no idea if Miguel's ever going to walk in, but he's trying to be there for him the way he never was for his son, which, holy shit, his son gets the worst. Robby in this show has the worst plot. I feel so bad for that kid. Like, because every single thing that happens to him is terrible. He never gets a single break this entire show.
Well, see, I think he kind of does, especially towards the end, and it's so fucking earned.
Does he?
Well, you look at fucking season 1 or whatever, when he was like stealing people's cell phone, or no, it's not cell phone, it was a laptop or whatever.
He had a home and a family, and then the karate gets involved, and Daniel Russo's like, I'm going to use this kid for my own personal gain and forget my own son exists, which, holy shit. If you ever plan to watch Cobra Kai, Julian, hey, DT's over. Okay, guys, bye. Like, make a choice. You can watch us, you can watch them. We appreciate if you stay. If you have to go watch them, by all means, watch it Double Toasted as well. But yeah, Daniel Russo's son, they keep forgetting he's there. To the extent where this season he shows up once, and they literally never bring him up, ever. So this whole fucking series. It's actually kind of hilarious, and I don't know why that kid's there.
Yeah, no, it is a funny situation when you bring it up, but like at the same time too, because like, yeah, you know what, like they spend so much time on his daughter, like, yeah, you do forget that he has another kid. That is actually, I'm surprised I didn't like think of that, like to write that down to bring it up in the show.
Season 1, every single time we see Daniel Russo walk through, oh yeah, I have a son. And this is always playing the Switch or some shit in the back. And season 2, it's summer, so they're like, oh, we're gonna send him off to summer camp, so we have to worry about him the whole season. This one, I'm like, are they just not gonna bring him up? He just shows up, and I literally have no idea if they changed the actor, because the character was bigger in the first season, and now he's like a skinny kid. So they could have changed the actor, and I would have never known.
There's lots of like visual changes too. Like for instance, I think Daniel, like obviously, the dad, whatever. I think he looks a little bit different, especially because I think he has again better shape to do the choreography. He was doing lots of stuff. I was like, oh, it's kind of cool that they let this older guy do all this stuff. But at the same time too, what's the kid with the scar on his nose, like right underneath his nose? Hawk. Yeah. Wow, that should have been easy. The motherfucker's big as Mohawk. But he looks like such a stereotypical, like, fucking Road Warriors badass now, and I can't unsee him as a badass. But they do a flashback scene when he was, like, in season 1, he looks like a little bitch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude, like, I thought that was kind of funny considering the fact that it's like, yo, you know, like, this character has really, really grown. Wait, hold on. Julian's saying Corey has this chat up? Why would he have this chat up? Shit, you know what? Let me see, Okay.
I'm just gonna use this to my advantage.
Yeah, go ahead and talk. Yeah.
I have the mainframe, yes. I'm trying to get the views back.
No, it's just weird. All
What the
right.
fuck?
Guys, take this to your advantage. Talk as much shit as to Nick as possible.
I'm trying to play Tetris right here so I can get to DT B count. I'm trying to make a transfer.
No, the thing is though, he does have Julian. You're a silly man. No, they have his chat is up, like on screen or whatever. That's what you're
Yeah,
referring
we're
to.
saying the wrong chat. It's
Damn it, they closed me out.
Yeah, because I looked at it. No, I'm seeing like it's all the DT people talking on the screen of his things. I don't know. Maybe you're I don't know, Julian. You're.
I mean, I'm not taking anything back.
Yeah, that's all right. If Corey calls me, then I'll just leave, and then Alan be like, "Hey, he sucks. Tell him he can't read."
He does.
Or fuck.
You can't read.
But back to the thing. My bad for all that shit, guys. I'm fucking. I'm not the best podcaster. I'll tell you that much. But looking at this though, man. But no, what you said about Robbie, whatever, dude. Not only the choreography, but just like the feeling of urgency when he was fighting all those other guys, and every time they're in the room, they're fucking with them. It's like, oh shit, dude. Like, is this gonna be the moment where they're gonna like handicap him too? Blah blah blah. What'd you feel about like the cellmates essentially?
I felt that it was very much like I was curious like what their use for is because they keep showing up and they keep like fucking with them. I'm like, yeah, that's typical juvie prison stuff. But I'm just like, well, what are they gonna go? Because they don't really spend much time in there. So it was mostly just we're basically like Star Wars. We're pushing Robbie to the dark side where he starts to realize the only way to really deal with this problem is by abandoning the stuff that he learned with Daniel Russo, and that's why he goes up to Kreese. And that's what I like about the show is this season decides, hey, we established all these characters. Now we're just going to shift them around. We're basically going to solidify them because I doubt the show's going to go on more than one more season. I think season 4 is going to be the finale because they could easily end these characters' arcs with one more season. I doubt it's going to go on for like 3-4 seasons. I don't think they have the content to do that. But you start to see the characters start to shift, so you start to see like, well, which characters are going to show up in which places, and where they're going to essentially where they're dividing lines. Are they the good guys or the bad guys? And that's one of the things I like, that everything feels earned. Every character that shifts to a certain place, it makes a lot of sense. Especially with what happens again with Robbie's character, with Hawk's character, with a lot of these characters. I'm like, it makes sense that you're going to where you're going to go. The only thing, like, and this, I guess, because I don't want to get too much into spoilers, but I do want to talk about the only thing I really didn't like about the show is. This show, like the first 2 seasons, I felt it was very down to earth. It made a lot of sense. A lot of the stuff that happened, a lot of the problems that were solved were not necessarily through karate, but required a lot of the lessons you learned through karate. This season said, "Fuck it, we're solving everything by fighting."
Yeah, I mean it was very Rocky 5-ish.
Your what you call it? Your rent's too high? Fight the guy. Some guy wants to take your fucking place? Fight the guy. How do we solve this problem with violence? Does your violence not solve the problem? Okay, become more violent.
Hey,
because
did you
I stubbed my toe on the kitchen counter. Karate chop.
No, yeah, or even this, like, dude, your relationship's not going good. You're lonely because somebody is not talking to you anymore. Blah blah. Fight the guy. It's like, yo, you guys had karate and romance. What the fuck?
And then it's like, okay, hey, we gotta find my son. He's across the city. And walk into a garage, and I'm like, wait, I've seen enough action movies. There's gonna be a big fight here. But I'm like, really?
Dude, they can't even go into an arcade and play fucking air hockey. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's on site. Like, fuck the Bloods of the Crips. Fuck like the Trump supporters. It's on site every time they see each other, where they're just going up and they're throwing down. And like, this isn't like a slap fight. People are getting their arms broken and shit.
Blood is spewed. Like, blood literally comes out, guys. Like, that's a cool thing. Like, dude, this actually brings me back to, like, because I would like to see the Nostalgia Crew talk about this shit, because, like, he did a review for Mortal Kombat, and I love Mortal Kombat, obviously, even in Part 2, I think Annihilation it was okay for fans of my genre, but the thing is, though, it's like, there's a part where he just starts screaming, like, stop fucking fighting, and you would think it's like, oh, he's just trying to be funny, that's a stupid thing, but, like, no, like, the fights don't mean nothing if you don't have something to kind of, like, build up the fights, and they build up pretty well in this show, but, like, there is a couple episodes where it's like, all right, like, you telling me security wasn't there inside the fucking juvie when he got into a fight with 5 guys that could easily kill him?
It's a normal thing. Like, they even they actually established that earlier, where when Robbie's getting his ass beat, the guards would like turn away and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they kind of just show it's like it's juvie, it's that kind of stuff. Nobody really gives a shit, and that fight goes on for a while. So it's like,
but like that fight fights on no cops or no paramedics or no like, hey, break it up. It's like, by the way, choreography is cool, and I know that you wanted to bring that up most likely, so we'll do it now. All the choreography is great, but here's the problem though. Okay. It's the quality of choreography ruins the fucking storyline because, dude, if you go into a mechanic shop, right, and they're like working on a car.
Well, remember, they're like chop shop people, so they're criminals and bad guys, which means I can throw a wrench and hit a dude in the head, and it's fine. He's alive.
Yeah, and the biggest thing, too, with that is, like, dude, if you're 6 years old, I don't give a fuck how good somebody is at karate. If they kick you, like a super kick or a drop kick or whatever the fuck, a roundhouse, and you flip 5 times in the air and fall down, you would be like, damn, that is the most athletic fucking 6-year-old I've ever seen that's working at some fucking car shop. Like, everybody is a fucking, like, super-duper athlete, so when they sell the moves, like in wrestling, it's like everyone's too capable of fucking flying through the room in a match. And then, by the way, too, there's no, like, what do you call that? Like, sloppiness? Like, when five guys go on one?
Actually, the thing is, I disagree with that statement. The thing is, I get what you mean because I agree with you because that's one of the things that bothered me. That particular fight, as much as I loved it, it was great. It was a great fight. It bothered me because this is going like a typical action movie where everyone can fight and everyone has kung fu moves and everyone can do stuff, which is cool. I like that shit entertainingly. But one of the things that season 1 and season 2 brought up was that this is very rare. Not a lot of people do this stuff. So like the fights, it made sense because it was rivalries and it was like, again, schoolyard rivalries. Instead of like yelling names at each other, they would fight. So it made a lot of sense that there was a lot of motion between every fight. That was a typical, we're just gonna fight because we want to show these two characters working together, which is fine, but it felt like it was a little bit too forced. I'm like, this didn't need to happen. There's a fight near the end, which actually works a lot better having those two work together, which I really like because it was more emotional. This one was just, we have a budget. We got these people. We got an empty room. Let's beat the shit out of some guys. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, and it's never brought up again. And I was like, granted, they don't really have to bring it up again because it's not big of a deal.
I mean, they bring it up a little bit, especially with the way like he handles like one of the guys. But it is one of those situations where I felt it was a bit too forced. But to bring up an earlier point, you said that there's no sloppiness. There's sloppiness all over the place in this. And again, this is I'm going to put on my elite choreography fight hat because apparently that's what I am now. I'm an elitist when it comes to choreography. But the thing is, you see that especially in that fight where they're trying too hard to make Daniel Russo seem like he can fight. So a lot of the moves are way too slow for the connection that's happening. Johnny Lawrence can fight. But Daniel Russo, he seems to be very slow when it comes to this stuff, where it doesn't work out too well, or a lot of the moves are actually really, really sloppy. Where I'm like, they only connected because the show told you to. They didn't actually connect like a real fight. Also, did we just lose image?
Did we? Yeah, I guess we did. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Okay, how about now?
We're back.
Okay,
yeah,
it's weird. Every time I pull up fucking Sony Vegas, I'm doing the Dropbox video for Corey as we're doing this, because I want to stop this conversation. I want to keep going. So we're going to do a little bit of a longer one today, guys. But the thing is, though, is like, I think you're right, but I think maybe a different word for it that I would probably use is stiff. I think that Daniel is very stiff, where it's like someone said, okay, do exactly this. Like, they really choreographed it. It felt super choreographed. And I'm like...
Again, this is literally, elitist hat. Like, there's a move where it's like he's punching a guy, doing the typical punch, and instead of the guy like blocking properly, like he kind of just takes it. Even though I'm like, that's a pretty easy block to punch. You've been blocking other people's punches, but because it's the main character, we can't have him get too fucked up. But that's just me. Like, again, I literally would rewind choreography. As soon as I see a choreographed fight, like I know it's gonna happen. I get ready. I'm looking. I'm analyzing everything. So I'm noticing that, especially with the older people, the kids had that problem too. But because they're a lot younger, it makes a lot of sense that they're not going to be as good. But they still manage to do a lot. Like, literally, they throw a kid through a window. Like, the violence towards the kids here is like, we don't give a shit about, oh, you're a child? Who cares? I'm going to throw you through a glass window. Oh, here's a glass vial of alcohol smashing on your head.
Yeah, it's too convenient. I mean, especially, like, there's a person who's like, oh, is that a cat? Oh, yeah, I don't have a cat. And then,
I laugh my ass off.
No, me too, but it's like in fucking 5 seconds, someone was able to like not only snatch him up without no one hearing a fucking sound, but then they just pick him up and shoot him through a fucking window. And then it's over a cat noise. Like, by the way, they all just run in the door afterwards anyway, so it's like, you guys just could have done that.
They're like, we have to do another fight like season 2, but we can't have anyone break it up. So we're just going to do it in the house. And like, people are being thrown through badass and shit is.
On that
nuts.
too, though, I really love the idea of like the storyline giving you reasons to not have much of action, because I can imagine some people, especially like me, especially like you, actually, being like, "Man, it's a fighting show, it's a karate show. Where's my action at?" But they had a very legitimate and interesting reason not to have so much fighting, because the school's like, "Listen, you guys are taking it so crazy that it feels like a show," and they're just like, no more fighting at the fucking school, no more karate, no more, and that's actually how school would work.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. Like, I'm never, especially with the first two shows, I didn't expect the choreography to be good at all. But to me, it's like my philosophy when it comes to action is you don't have to have a lot of it, but whenever you have an action scene, it has to be good. That's my philosophy. If you only have one action scene in this whole season, it better be fucking amazing. Like, let's say they didn't have any action and it was just the last one. That fight, there's like 10 minutes of fighting in that 30-minute episode, and it is all fucking fantastic. I've watched it like 3 times. I love every second of it. But to me, it's like that's the level. And to me, it's like, so when I get mad at $200 million movies for having garbage choreography, I go and look at this, this show probably cost like a tenth of your fucking budget and has better fight scenes than you do. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy too. Your fight scenes fucking suck.
Really quick, I'm going to have you talk about the storylines for a second, but yeah, Ryan, I'm going to call Corey because he needs to fix it. Because like this actually will be an issue. So I'll be right back. I'm sorry, Alan, but continue on though. Like, what you think about the storylines and when I'll be right back.
Yeah. So I don't want to get too much spoiler. I know that it's been out for about a week, and that most people probably have already seen it. But like I said, I'm the spoiler guy that doesn't want to get spoiled by anything, so I'm not gonna do the same thing. My name is Alan. But as far as this overall season, I generally did enjoy it because it felt like they understood that the show had a limited amount of content it could take, because they basically start referencing Karate Kid 2, and they do a lot more flashbacks than they ever did in the first 2 seasons, because I'm going to assume most people just didn't watch or just didn't remember Karate Kid 2 even happened. But they managed to make it work within the context of the show, because it's the characters are losing their way, especially with what happened in season 2. And that's one thing I like about the show is it manages to establish consequences to actions, but then makes them realistic, where the events of season 2 are essentially haunting all the characters in the show. Because again, it was a really fucked up situation. As awesome as the fight was, people were getting hurt. Someone got paralyzed. It's like, this isn't a joke anymore. This isn't a haha fun, we got into a fight. Like, there are real world consequences for a lot of these actions. So the characters kind of losing their way makes a lot of sense. So by the end of the season, they get to a point where it's like, I can't wait for season 4. Because I want to see how they're going to resolve this. Because I doubt this is going to get to season 5. I can see this totally ending next season. I have no idea if anyone else is in there. So as far as that, I'll talk about probably my favorite character in the show is probably Johnny Lawrence, just continuing. Because you go from season 1 and he's like this kind of loser that you kind of expect when the bully turns into a loser. But as far as continuing on to the character growth, he was the character I felt for the most, because as much as he's the biggest asshole in season 1 and season 2, in the original Karate Kid, you get to see what happens when someone like that is so focused on being the asshole that their life falls apart. So at first you're like, well, I don't like you because I saw Karate Kid. But you see that he is a good person. He just had a lot of bad role models in his life.
Yeah.
Brightburn.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to read something. Brightburn asked, do you think the Karate Kid reboot took place on a different
Earth in the multiverse as Karate Kid?
Yeah, Flashpoint Paradox happened, and
No, because like I want to talk about that too, and once again I'm gonna go back into my wrestling terminology fucking bucket here. But like the thing is I think, and I still feel this way. Season 1, Daniel is the heel for sure, and Johnny Lawrence is the face. He's the good guy. And in season 2, they kind of like mix within each other. It's kind of like the same to a point where
Lawrence is always a good guy. Like he basically had, that's when his mentor comes in, and he comes a bit more almost dark side, but it's kind of like the whole Tempted, where eventually, like halfway through, he kind of gives up because he realizes he doesn't want to be that. He never liked his old master. He's just like, well, maybe he changed. Oh wait, he didn't. And he said that more in season 3. But they definitely had Daniel Russo being the bad guy because he can't let go of the rivalry, and that just causes all the problems. But then season 2, he does ease up on that, but he's still kind of there. Where John Lawrence is trying to figure out what he wants to do, and that's when he kind of gives up, and that's when the huge fight happens, because both senseis just fucking say fuck it. Season 3, he's trying to build himself back up, and John. But the thing with Daniel Russo is he's trying to figure out where he fits in this world, because his life is falling apart.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too, is like it's weird how everything kind of switched, because in the beginning he's doing so fucking well, Daniel Russo, and the Russo family, even the daughter's like fucking having a great time. To the point where it's like in the beginning I was like, okay, she's never gonna do anything interesting at all. She's just gonna be like, oh, I'm the hot girl and I get the boyfriend and I have hot friends and blah blah blah.
I'm just gonna cause problems.
Exactly. And then, dude, by season 3, like, she has one of the more interesting stories, like, of all of them. Like, I mean, it's really, really developed and very emotional to the point where I actually cared about her romantic stance. I was like, I hope you end up with Miguel, or I hope you don't waste more time with fucking Robbie, you know? But it's like, it was, like, why the fuck would I give a shit? But it's like, the show is so good at writing these things that you actually care. It's, like, fucking crazy.
It's like one of the things where it's like, I always hate how kids are treated in media when it comes to the schools. They always treat it as like this weird, like it's hard to describe, but they always treat it
It's
like
either Lord of the Flies or it's fucking Breakfast Club. There's no middle ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's always like the little things, like the end of the world, where it's like kids just go to school. And it's like, yeah, they get teased and stuff, but it's not like this huge thing where everyone's doing Twitter hashtags and leaked news and stuff like that. I'm like, no, kids are just being kids. Like, they're being like, this is very similar to the way I grew up, including getting my ass kicked every 10 fucking seconds. So it's like, I was like, oh, that's what I was like. I wish I knew Kung Fu fighting when I was a kid. That would have really fucking helped.
But no, man, I just thought that was pretty cool. But moving on to the very, very end, I gotta bring up the fact that fucking Kreese is one of my favorite villains now. I love that guy. I'm so, like...
He's way more awesome. He's literally the emperor. Like, let's be real here.
Yeah, dude. Like, I think he
corrupting every motherfucker that walks around.
You know what's funny? Because I didn't watch the Karate Kid movies. I should have probably, prefaced this entire conversation with that. I didn't watch those movies because I just wasn't a fan of the idea of, karate. Mr. Miyagi is gonna teach you how to do shit by cleaning a fucking car. I was like, that's as dumb as shit. But Ganja, I guess, did, because at the end of season 1, when Kreese shows up, Ganja's like, oh shit, there he is! Oh, he was like freaking out, and I was like, I don't, what, who, when, why? Like, Kreese, would he iron his shirt right? Like, what the fuck? How many creases?
Ooh.
I thought that was gonna be funny. Fuck you. No, but the thing is, though, that character, they do flashbacks with him, and it's like, dude, like, I don't know if that was included in the Karate Kid movies, but like, that is such good fucking like backstory. I love his backstory.
Oh, same here. It went darker than I thought it was. The show, because I always thought the show was a bit like upbeat. So this season especially is way darker than they ever had a chance to really go. But they really developed his character well, where it's like you understand why he feels the way he does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. No, I thought he did that very, very well. And I think that even him not being so unbelievably powerful, where everyone just does whatever the fuck he wants. Like, there's characters that are involved in Cobra Kai that are kind of like, oh, like, you're fucking crazy, or blah, blah, blah. People actually leave him. And I thought, like, oh, that's kind of cool, because, yeah, not everyone's going to just listen to the main character because he has plot dominance. Sometimes even the main character in the story can fucking drop the ball a little bit. And the fact that Daniel and what's-his-face are not, like, physically inferior to him, like, everyone's on the same kind of playing field, it's almost like if you watch this with a certain perspective, he's still not really the bad guy. You can kind of see why maybe one of us would want to join Cobra Kai under the Kreese's fucking thing. Because I know I would. The motherfucker seems like he has shit together.
That dude is crazy. That dude will get you fucked up. Like, it kind of shows us like the type of people that the new Cobra Kai, at least under Kreese, attracts. Where it's like it's the people that are naturally assholes.
But think of the other people on the opposite of him, though. You got the drunk ass Johnny Lawrence, which, I mean, dude, like, I don't want to be around a drunk person.
Yeah, but Johnny Lawrence, like, as much as he's drunk and an idiot, like, at least he cares about the kids. Like, you see that in the first few seasons.
You can't tell he's calling me a pussy, saying, good kids.
You can't tell, but at the end of the day, it's like when he's working with you, it's like he is trying to give you confidence, but he's doing it in his own weird backward ass way. Kreese is like training you to be like a fucking soldier, and it's like you see, it's like, yeah, no mercy, don't give a shit about people around you, don't do anything. It's like, because especially with season 2, Johnny Lawrence, like, yeah, he's showing them mercy. He's showing them, it's like he wants to make it better Cobra Kai because he doesn't want to go to his old sensei's abilities or old sensei's manners, because it's like that made him and ruined his life.
That's why he was drunk.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't want people to grow up like that. Because, like, yeah, they'll be assholes. They'll win state championships. They'll get everything they want in high school. But the moment that ends and they're 18 and whatever, it's like their lives are going to fall apart because those lessons don't apply because Johnny Lawrence's life fell apart. So, but he doesn't know how to do the Miyagi stuff. So he's trying to find a balance. And I know that they didn't do this on purpose, but there's this one particular shot where they have Daniel Russo, John Kreese, and then Johnny Lawrence in the middle. And I feel like that's a perfect way to sum the show up because you have essentially, I guess, the good karate, which is Daniel Russo, Miyagi, defense, evil karate with Kreese, but then you have Johnny Lawrence somewhere in the middle, where he can't be perfectly good, but he can't be totally evil. So he's kind of being tug of war back, through them. And he's trying to figure out the best way to do the lessons, especially with season 3, where it's like, yeah, I'm going to be this kind of a bit of an asshole, but I'm going to be like that lovable asshole where it's like, I want the best for you, but I'm not going to sugarcoat anything.
So before we get into our ratings and everything, I got one last thing I really wanted to bring up as far as all this stuff goes. And it's not going to be about choreography or anything that's actually done for entertainment value. I'm going to pretend like we're going to go into kayfabe. And we're going to be like, yo, this movie's real, or this show's real. Everything in here is like real life shit. Do you think Daniel was going to cheat on his wife with those 2 chicks?
Wait, what? With
So,
what two
because
chicks?
he goes to Okinawa, or what's it called? I mean,
Oh, dude, no. What are you on crack?
no, dude,
that-
because like, aren't they sharing like
woman,
letters? And it's like, I remember
older
when I
than-
first fell in love with you when we were little kids, and I loved you so much. And then like,
no, a woman then. Like, what the fuck are you on? I
I don't know, man.
at
I
all.
felt I was like, yo, like, are you telling your wife who you're talking to right now, dog? Because that's
Yeah,
kinda...
the random woman he met in his Japan trip that was like a
it's
mother.
That wasn't random. No, that girl he grew up with, like back in the day. Like that's
No, he only knew her. He didn't grow up with her. I never watched Karate Kid, but the way they explained it in the movie, he went to Japan just because sequelitis. We got to go to the fucking place where the master was born, and he meets up with her. She's already like a grown woman, and it's like, yeah, we were friends. And then the person he saves was a little girl too. That's the only time he even fucking met her. I was like, no, he's not gonna cheat. That never even crossed my mind. But you're an asshole, and you want everyone to be the biggest piece of shit in the world. So,
but no, because like he was a heel in season 1 technically, and like he keeps doing some things that are questionable as fuck in like season 2 and blah blah blah. Season 3 he was pretty much all good. But what I'm saying though is like maybe this was this season's way of saying no, he's still kind of not perfect because. This dude goes back to Okinawa. God, I wish I could say things right. I'm sorry, people. I'm fucking stupid. But the thing is, though, is like, there's a part of it where I just felt like that's questionable because, like, okay, me and maybe I'm just a jealous bitch, but I know that, like, if my girl went to fucking Egypt or whatever the fuck, someplace outside of America, and hung out with a person all night long.
Back in the day, you'd be mad. You can't have friends.
Well, you can't. I mean, you can have friends, but don't sit there all night and then share fucking like letters or love letters that you remember from back in the day, and then be like,
That wasn't between them two. That was the old master, and those love letters to another woman.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, that probably makes sense. But there was another girl. Like, because like at the very end, the girl who works for the car company that's gonna save his
That was
business.
the person he saved the life, and that was the only time they ever spoke. Was hey, he saved her from the tsunami, and they never spoke again. That's why he's like, oh shit, oh yeah, that's you. I can't believe it.
Okay,
Like,
well, Mauricio actually saw it, and he said that was his love interest from Karate Kid 2.
yeah, 30 years later, and he never saw her again. Like this idea, like, oh, he's gonna. She's like, I don't know how.
Well, you're stuck on the cheat. I'm just saying, I mean, and granted, that was my question, and I will say I'm wrong. I will say I'm wrong, but questionability. Like, if your girl did that, would you not have a couple of fucking questions? That's like, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
I can't believe you knew people before me.
You say that, but you're such a fucking asshole. I know that there's a jealousy fucking
shit.
thing in you.
No, because you're paranoid like that. Because shit like that happened in your past, and it's completely justified. But
Yeah, I was getting mad. Like,
I know where you're coming from, but fuck you, because the show did not imply that at all. It's your ass that implied it.
people, I'm sorry, I'm a jealous motherfucker. I'm insecure as fuck. I got problems. There's a whole thing. But and that's why I thought the character was gonna be doing that. I don't know. But I don't trust Daniel though. Still, I just feel like he's up to something at all fucking times. That's how you got that car company. You don't get a car dealership company started by not fucking people over. This guy, even if the show doesn't tell you, he's a piece of shit. That's how that works.
That's why I was waiting to say he doesn't like how people were treated. And he basically became a good dealer because he wanted to treat people with respect, and that actually came across pretty well. Like, he's not the biggest. Like, again, the asshole car dealer keeps trying to take his business because he's doing pretty decently. He's competing because he's not slimy. And it's like, the show kind of shows it's like, yeah, he is a genuinely good person. He's misguided, but at the end of the day, he is a good person.
And at the end of the day, I think this was a good show. For me, just to wrap it all up, I think that this was definitely a 4 out of 5. The only thing that kind of made me go like, is I think that they got a little comfortable. I won't even say meander, but they got a little comfortable with the fucking Miguel being laying on the bed the entire time. It is reminiscent of Walking Dead season 2 with Carl Grimes. And I hate that season for that. I
can't believe that character took most of the season to learn how to walk again. Fucking asshole. He should have walked like day one. You just fell off. You fell 2 stories and landed on your back. Walk it off.
But like the thing is, like he's laying there forever though. Like he's just like, man, why you can't walk no more? And it's like,
yeah.
Well, like I mean, yeah, but like do something else in the background. Like Jaws did it.
Part of his body.
I'm just saying, there's other movies and shows that have done it where you can have like multiple things happening at the same time.
Have they done it well?
Yeah, I think Jaws did it well. When one character is like dealing with this whole shark situation, everybody's living behind him, doing all this other shit.
They literally go back and forth There's an entire season that happens, dude.
Well, hey, it is like for me. I felt that way. Like another situation that happened with me with is like I'm not gonna go into a big rant about it, but like there's horror movies that do it, blah blah blah. Like it is what it is. But hey, the show was fucking great. Great choreography, great characters, great writing. I loved it. But definitely not perfect. And yeah, dude, if you guys don't have a lot of time, I would say watch something else because 10 hours of this, and I mean it's not really 10 hours, it's probably much like 6 to 7 hours, but it is a lot of show for something that's kind of like, you could have had this be like 6 episodes.
Yeah, he wanted some Kill Bill shit. Wiggle your big toe. Wiggle your big toe. Okay, cool. I'm good to walk again.
No, Roxy, they literally do it. There's a part they go to a metal
Wait, what?
concert. Yeah, they go to a metal concert.
No,
they still do that. They still do that. And by the way, he did this right.
But sure.
He's talking over me because he doesn't want me to tell you because he knows it's going to be funny.
No, it's odd. They're at a concert and they're fucking listening to music and jamming out, and halfway through he starts tapping his foot, and it's a big fucking emotional moment. But Nick's an asshole. He's like, he should have been breakdancing right now.
No, it's dude, because like the crowd's like, dun dun dun, wow,
Yeah.
rock music.
Oh, you tell me anything like that?
And they're doing a typical like, oh, when I'm at a rock concert, I go because yeah, bro, and they're doing that, and then that fucking kid who's drinking a beer, so I guess like they're trying to say beer's good for your toes. I don't know what the fuck, but he starts tapping his foot. So he's like, that beat, dog.
These are like the worst lessons from things.
Well, that's if I was a kid, I'd be like, I'm gonna drink like he does because I want to be able to move my feet to a beat.
What?
I'm just saying that's what the show said. That's not me. I didn't write the
worst
shit.
lessons out of anything. Holy shit!
I think it's just stupid.
Okay, so drink beer and you can walk again. Got it.
Thank you. It cures paralysis. It kills paralysis. I don't even know if you have paralysis.
Kills paralysis.
Paralysis? What? Are you a scientist? What the fuck? How'd you pronounce that? Say that again.
Paramecium. It cures your paramecium,
Paralysis.
Alan.
Jesus Christ!
I said paralysis.
I can't think of Nick not being able to read.
Isn't that one movie with Alien?
Prometheus? No, paralysis is a movie with better scientists and that don't just let things fucking crawl into their mouth.
I hate that fucking movie.
Here's your Elysium. But you, dude, what was your rating, and say any last comments there about me being stupid?
Well, Nick doesn't know how to read, so don't worry. I'll take you to a rock concert, give you some beer, you'll learn how to read in a minute. But no, overall, like I didn't expect the season to be good because Netflix. This is the first season of Netflix, and I'm like, well, they're gonna ruin it because Netflix does that. They're gonna cancel it because also Netflix does that. So I had no expectations, but even within the first few episodes, I'm like, you managed to make this as dark as it needed to be. Not overly dark, but like dark enough where I'm like, okay, you took responsibility for what happened in season 2. You didn't brush it over. You had the characters basically face the consequences of a lot of their actions. You started shifting the established rules, established balance, and established character dynamics where it's like, I didn't know who was going to end up on which side by the end of it. And now you essentially drew the line in the sand where I know where everyone's going to stand. This is almost exactly where I thought it was going to end up. Because I remember doing a review for oneofus.net for season 2, and I kind of like guessed where I thought the show was going to end up going. And by the end of season 2, it kind of almost is there. I'm gonna like I do want to make a prediction of where it's going to end, but I'll say that for if we ever do a spoiler discussion for the show, because I feel like I know exactly how the show is going to end. But overall, it's like, yeah, the fighting was a step up. They managed to make it a lot more interesting, a lot more visceral than I expected to ever do for kids. Because like kids are bleeding and shit, like smashing through glass and stuff. And I'm like, they're getting away with a lot of stuff that I don't know how the fuck and these aren't like, oh, they're like, these aren't like what you call it, 70s kids where they're like, oh, they're actually 30 years old. Like, no, these kids look like they're 10 being thrown through windows. Shit, it's kind of nuts that stuff to get away with. But they managed to make everything make sense, and the fighting feels real. The emotion is there, and there's nothing outside of a few moments where I felt like you went too far with the karate being the solution to every problem. Like I can forgive that because only a couple times you managed to make the emotion really a focus of the season. And then to me, I will always give you points for that because you made me feel for these characters, and I really enjoyed watching these characters grow. Yeah,
but what'd you rate it numerically? Out of 5 or 10 or whatever you want to use.
We'll go out of 5. This is definitely a 4. This is a 4 out of 5, straight up. Because the things that I didn't like are personal things. If there was somebody that just watched it for watching's sake, they're like, oh yeah, this is great. I didn't mind that at all. That was kind of fun. But to me, it's like I'm just kind of like, again, where I come from, it's like, okay, that bothered me a little bit. Not enough to lower any points, but it's just, to me, it's a solid 4 out of 5.
Okay, well, like I said, man, I'm glad we actually agree on that, by the way, because I really did like this show a lot, and I was like, usually either I disagree with him where I'm negative or you're negative, but no, we actually both agree with the same thing here, so that's actually pretty badass. I like that a lot. But Jet, are you there? Jet!
I am.
Okay, here's the thing.
Dang!
I'm sorry. Hopefully I didn't I forgot people have headphones on. That's not gonna be nice. But no, so there's this other show that we're gonna be talking about today, and it's definitely not on Netflix, or maybe it is. I don't even know anymore. I don't know shit. But it's called Talentless Nana.
We're talking about it now. I don't even know if we're doing a spoiler discussion or not, because this show's full of spoilers.
We can do spoilers. I mean, yeah. I mean, what do you feel?
I don't know. It's up to you. I'll talk about it, but it's just kind of like one of those things where just it has to be spoiled.
Yeah, no, I'm down for that. I would have been down to spoil Cobra Kai.
Alright,
Alan's
I'm just gonna mute myself because I've not even watched the show yet.
okay, and the thing is too, just so you guys know, I am so against people who get mad about spoilers now. So if you tell me when spoiled, it's well when watch the shit. Fuck you.
Yeah, well, no, I'll do what I always do. If you want to talk about spoilers, cool, I'll book it.
But no, so I'm not even meaning that at you. But just so you guys know, and I'm trying to give you a compliment, you fucking cunt. No, Alan he told me before the show, he was like, hey, I don't want to spoil Cobra Kai for anybody because, I care a lot about spoilers and I don't want to ruin any shows for anybody else. So you guys can thank Alan for that because I will ruin the entire thing for you, but Alan saved the day. So thank you, Alan, for that.
I am truly the greatest.
Yeah. That was weird.
Enjoy the discussion about Talentless Nana.
Yeah, here we go. So here's the thing, though. If Jed's down to talk to me about it, Talentless Nana, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the anime, the storyline centers around initially, which I kind of forgot about this too, looking at all the cover art for this fucking thing, but initially it's about a young boy named Nakajima, who is currently going to school, and, he's at an island, and you're probably thinking, oh, why is he at an island? Well, the reason why he's at an island is because apparently there's these creatures that came out 50 fucking years ago, which I don't know when this show takes place because the manga came out, 5 years ago, Jet?
Probably even less than that. Probably 3 years ago. I have to check.
Yeah, I think it was 2016 or something like that because I had looked some stuff up before we started. But the thing is, though, is maybe it's 50 years from now, or maybe there's something I didn't understand about where it takes place. But 50 years ago, creatures just kind of conjured up out fucking nowhere. And these particular creatures, and I don't know what created these, what do you call it, the opposite of these creatures, but basically kids grew up now with these powers called talents. And they're very similar to, I would say, quirks from My Hero Academia or just, mutations from the characters on X-Men. It's very, very similar to that. They can be anywhere from, controlling elements. They can be reading minds. It could be from teleporting, any of that kind of shit. Time travel even. There's a lot there. The thing is, though, is that this character, Nahajima, I think I fucked up his name already, but the thing is, though, he's in class, and he feels kind of weird because he doesn't really have a talent, or at least that's what I came from it. I feel like the show was trying to tell you, no, this guy doesn't have any talents. But somebody else comes into the room, and the storyline and the camera angle and everything just focused directly on her, and it's Nana. This is the character right here, Nana. I forgot her last name because that's what everybody else calls her by it, but, title of the show, Talentless Nana, is definitely about her. She comes on in, and her ability is to read minds. She's reading all these people's minds. People are trying to challenge her on it, what am I thinking right now, blah, blah, blah. And she's reading the room so well that she's able to find out what these people are thinking with her quote-unquote powers, her talents. It gets to a point, though, that her and this character that I brought up earlier, Nakahima, they end up hanging out, getting very, very close to each other, and then all of a sudden, and this is where spoilers come in, people, she fucking kills him. Just kills him, throws him right off a fucking cliff, and, she's been, cutesy talking, her voice, all that shit throughout the entire episode, and then she just goes completely serious, you're dead. Fuck you. Just very, very serious. And I'm like, bro, as soon as that happened at the end of the first episode, I was fucking hooked right away. I was like, dude, that's amazing. I love the idea that she can read minds. I love everything they're kind of giving me here. It's moving fast. We already got a character death of a character who I thought was the main character to a point where I actually thought that he wasn't even dead yet. I was like, oh, he's obviously going to climb back up the cliff or he's going to do something. The show's going to continue on with this main character. But I was completely wrong. But before I continue on with the storyline or whatever else happens with these episodes, Jed, I'm going to ask you, did I get all that shit correct? Or is there some corrections that you need to be making of me?
A couple. Basically, they try to trick you into thinking she's this innocent person. But the thing is, she doesn't actually even have any talent whatsoever. She's faking the entire thing. She basically has really good skills for reading the room and signals to actually show what a person's personality is. So she just makes really good guesses. And she was actually sent there to destroy, basically destroy and or kill everyone on the island because apparently the talented are the ones that are the enemies to society, not these magical like monsters.
Yeah, which they
So
call
just
them.
have the government to basically kill 'em.
Yeah, and don't what do they call them again? They're like enemies of the something like or enemies of humanity. That's what the creatures are called, right? And these people are not the enemies of humanity.
Yeah, apparently, according to the government, they're the real enemies of humanity, and she's actually sent there to kill every single student that's there. So the episodes are actually just her plotting to kill everyone who's on the island.
Yeah, and I think that, more so than that, because we won't get into too many spoiler territory things, it's going to be hard to avoid most of them, but I think we're going to be able to keep the show as fresh as possible for you guys, and then at the same time discuss enough about this where it's like, yeah, there are some things that need to be talked about. For instance, the other powers of these people. There's a character, I forgot his name, but there's a character who can actually time warp and rewind time and all this stuff, and the way they kind of work around, like him trying to figure out, like, okay, who's the person who killed Nahajima, and is Nana someone who can be trusted, blah, blah, blah. It's a detective show through and through, but at the same time, each time someone is trying to either, get to know what happened, try to help find Nahima, whatever the case may be, she finds a way to fuck them over by just reading the room. Because keep in mind, she doesn't have any powers. She's the talentless Nana within a bunch of talented people, and yet she's still able to keep hiding her identity of being someone who's actually evil. And she's basically a serial killer. I mean, I don't know how many people they kill in this fucking show, but, like, at what point, Jet, did you find out, like, okay, this is a show that's going to be about death mostly, and that this character is basically an evil fucking bitch?
Right at the end of the first episode.
Okay, because I was actually thinking that, like, maybe she wasn't that evil. Maybe there's some kind of reason that we don't know yet. They're about to find out why she killed that person. But at second episode, I was like, okay, no, now it's official. This fucking bitch is evil, and I don't know what the fuck she's gonna do. Was it unpredictable for you at all, or were you kind of like seeing some of the seams of where they're going to go?
After a couple episodes, some things were definitely predictable. It isn't until later where things kind of get like, okay, I actually didn't see that coming.
Yeah. But when we get into like the third episode and whatnot too, what'd you feel about the other character named Kyoko, or what's his name again?
Kyoya?
Koya? Okay, shit. Yeah. I'm really bad at these names, dude. but
no, like he's an incredibly important character because if everyone on the island's basically pretty fucking stupid. Like it's basically like because they have their powers, they don't really think very well, I guess, or like maybe they I don't know, they think because they have their powers, they don't need any like actual skills.
Okay, well, someone's on the other thingy for talking to her, but like for me, yeah, like I kind of agree with her saying as far as his importance. I think that he was extremely, extremely important to the show. But at the same time, as far as him being important, anytime with his importance, him not being able to kind of like figure this thing out, or him not being able to prove that she is like the person doing all these crimes, I kind of felt like, wow, this is becoming a little tropish, as well as the fact that it's too convenient for a character, which is something, once again, that I will say to anyone who likes anime, I don't like the convenience of main characters, where just somehow, everyone finds a way to fucking get caught, killed, or whatever the case, but our main character has his plot armor around them, where it's just completely unpuncturable by very, very simple fucking, like, realizations from other characters. It reminds me of comic book stuff, where it's like, we gotta pretend that Superman might be in danger when he fights Lex Luthor. We gotta be, like, oh, I wonder if Kurapika, Killua, and Gon can survive in Hunter x Hunter. It's like, I don't like shit like that, because this character, if I was in this fucking show, I would have known there's something up with her. And I think that'd be the same case if Jet was in the show, or Alan was in the show, or Ganja, or anybody. I feel like that's one of the situations where it's just way too convenient, and it's almost like lazy writing in some ways, but it still is able to leave you with cliffhangers that have your butthole type, basically. Like, oh shit, oh god, this is what they're going to find out? And then they just do that one last thing that's like, okay, not yet, but I want it now. You know what I mean? And I think that's pretty cool.
The best way to describe this show would basically be My Hero, Among Us, and Death Note.
Yeah, I very much like Death Note and Among Us, big time. I kind of agree with My Hero stuff because obviously with the talents that they have and everything. I will say though, with all the students that were at the place, do you feel like they kind of should have had more talents being shown? Because I think we only had like a handful.
Oh, there's one problem I actually do have with the show is that each like the characters who obviously are possibly going to get like killed off are introduced in an episode before or that same episode. So we don't really get that much time to spend with them, and we don't really care about their deaths. Which, I mean, like, maybe, I guess they plan to do that because they don't want you, like, feeling too much for these certain characters because everyone has the chance to die. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of just like, I would have preferred that.
And I would have preferred to just in one of those situations, and this is like a nitpick almost, but I feel like I would have preferred people using their abilities more often. Like, for instance, this character over here, we know he's invincible. And we see him in a situation where he's like in a burning house, and we're like, oh shit, like, it's really cool that he was able to come out of there. But then it's like, if you can do that, why not like use that ability more often to other people? Like, there's certain situations where there is a not really a killer, but someone who's trying to create violence. I won't say what the power was that they were using, but it needed some kind of physical defender of these people, especially Nana, because these particular weapons were being used to get Nana. And yet this character's nowhere to be found. And it's like, that would have been a really cool moment to see him kind of showcase, like, this is how badass my power is. And more so than just me being smart and being a detective and trying to figure out shit with Nana and trying to uncover all her fucking secrets, I'm also one bad motherfucker that will destroy whatever's in my way because I'm invincible. And that's never touched on other than just when it affects Nana. I feel like
you have to think about it this way. Well, you have to think about it this way, that the reason why he doesn't go all out with her is because, like, everyone in class loves her. Like, she does that cutesy shit and everyone feels like she's pretty much innocent. Only a couple people actually suspect her because, like, yeah, like, she arrives on the day where everyone basically starts fucking disappearing.
Yeah.
But so does he. Like, he's also a new person in the class, so he's just as suspicious as her. So if he just starts throwing out everything, it makes it seem like he's the one who's trying to get everyone off his back.
Projected and shit. Trust me, I've done it.
Yeah. But that's the thing, that's just like, yeah, and Jen makes a point with that. But then again, it's like, I wish that they even touched on that more. Like, maybe, okay, because of this situation, why is anyone saying, hey, dude, you're up to fucking no good? I feel like there was just lots of questions and lots of dialogue that was missed out upon because we were too busy knowing what's inside Nana's head. Her, her voice actor basically explaining what her character's going to do next, which, that's one of the situations, too, where I feel like for instance, in Hunter x Hunter, and I should have brought this up when we talked about it last week, but in Hunter x Hunter, there's a point where when they're finally in the exam fighting each other, someone will have like this special move and they'll use it and it doesn't work, and then the person explains why it didn't work, like, oh no, I would have gone with my thunder thingy, but he doesn't know that if I use it for 5 seconds, then I get tired, my pee gets small, my pee is so small, oh god, what can I do? And then the other guy's like, I've heard that, his pee is small, I'm gonna kill him. It's like, why are you saying this out loud? Like, if you are any good of a hunter, you would never say this shit out loud. And I know the reason why they're saying this is so they can explain it to us. But that's why you should have, like, a journalist on the side being able to, like, read the room and be like, oh, this is why that move didn't work on Deku because blah, blah, blah. It's like, you can
technically, isn't that basically the same thing? There's always someone going to explain it to you.
Well, no, like, if a commentator or somebody, like, on the outskirts of it is explaining it, then it's like, oh, well, if I was watching a boxing match and I was like, man, he better hit him with that left or whatever, like, I would probably be doing that, right?
Well, that's a little bit different because the thing is, the people like on the sides don't actually know like what these people's powers are. Like with when you go into wrestling, like you at least are like told up front like what their moves are going to be and blah blah blah. When it comes to like people on these shows, they don't know.
If they have like an administrative person behind any of the exams, or I mean, let's just go back to this show where it's like maybe when something's being explained. I don't know. I mean, granted, it's a detective thing, so you can't really like, no one else knows her plan, so they can't explain it. So I know why they're explaining it for us to understand why certain things happen. But it's almost like, damn, we spent so much time inside of her fucking head where the whole screen goes red and she's explaining all these things. That's like, we don't know enough about any of the other characters that definitely have been here from the beginning. Like the Flame guy, I think he's had like, 3 lines of fucking dialogue in this entire show. The Flame guy, we don't know shit about.
That's actually one of the major things about this show. Like one of the major the problem with the show is that the side characters are pretty weak.
They're side as fuck.
Yeah, like there's a couple of characters that are actually like written pretty decently, but everyone else is just like, man, for having such strong powers, you guys don't have shit to say.
Yeah. And they're really interesting, like what they have, like this world and just like everything that can be used or whatever. It's very, very interesting. And I feel like they don't even touch the surface of it. Like, because this show's great. Like, big spoiler alert. And actually, I'll get into my rating right now. It's like, dude, yeah, this is definitely a 3.5 out of 5. It's right in the middle of just being very, very average. And the problem why I had to give it a somewhat of a lower setting or an average fucking rating is because of the fact that they could have done so much with this. You gotta keep in mind, guys, this is an island full of people with fucking talents, a.k.a. quirks, a.k.a. X-Men powers. I mean, does that not sound like a badass show? And then, like, there's these creatures called enemies of the fucking humankind or whatever the case may be. Like, there's a lot of story here that they haven't even slightly started touching on yet. And I don't know how the manga is, but I'm pretty sure the manga has some great shit going on. and we did not see any of that in this anime until maybe season 2, if they even come out with one or whatever the case may be. So for me, that's how I feel. 3.5 out of 5. This is very good. It's kind of interesting, but there is some shit to be desired. Like there's something left to be like, I wish I had more of this, that, and the other. But what would you rate this, Jed? Any last comments that you feel like you should touch on that I did not?
Yeah, this is definitely a 3 out of 5. While the show is entertaining all the way through, I had a good time with it. Like you said, it leaves a lot to be desired, and like there is a lot of plot holes if you're like thinking about it way too hard. But I mean, just like if you're just going along for the ride, you're going to have fun with it, especially if you like stuff about like murder and shit.
Yeah.
And basically like detective stuff, like Death Note. Like it's not going to be as smart as Death Note, but I mean, it is entertaining.
Yeah, like I said,
I just wish the side characters were, a lot more interesting, because like a show is only as strong as basically its characters.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing about this. Like, the characters could be cool, and I feel like you just didn't explore them. And the characters they do show, like, I like the two main characters. I like, I can't say his name, Kiyoyo, Kikoko, Kuku, Pupukaka. I like this guy. Yeah, that.
Like, him being basically the L to her light is actually pretty entertaining, because he's basically one of the few people like on the island that she cannot read. Like he's so random that she just like, yeah, I can't read this motherfucker.
And that makes for some really interesting storytelling. This character right here, by the way, when season 2 comes out, or if you guys want to go read the manga, I guarantee you this character will entertain you on just the basis of not only his power, his talent, or whatever, but just on the dynamics that his character opens up, because he's pretty unpredictable. I don't know if you found it to be predictable, but I was very like, what the fuck's going to happen next with this guy? You know what I mean? So I love that. But yeah, 3 out of 5 for you, 3.5 out of 5 for me. That is it for our review for Talentless Nana. The thing is, though, I'm just going to go ahead and open up the floodgates for a second really quick. Gandra, you still there, buddy?
Yes, I am.
So I'm right here too, bitch.
Oh, hey, do your thing, your catchphrase.
I have a catchphrase?
No, you're here also. God damn it.
Oh, I'm here also, yeah.
God damn,
you're just a dumbass.
You suck.
Oh, fuck you. You don't even know my name.
You don't know my name. I'm gonna let you guys. This is where. Hey, I should just get the Illuminati podcast fucking logo. Just put that on the screen here, because, look, man, I know that someone's eventually gonna ask us tomorrow about it, and I just want to like refer to them for an older episode, because I don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Political stuff. What the fuck happened today, dog?
Revolution in our time.
I don't know about that one. More like Trump supporters had a big tantrum that got all the way to the state capitol and they smashed a bunch of shit.
Basically, they went to see the manager.
Yeah.
That's fucking great.
I wish we did our show. We really got to do a show this week.
Oh, no, we're definitely going to show. The show it's referred to as the Illuminati Podcast, part of the Metropolis Collective, where we have a bunch of other cool-ass shows. You got Cedric's Little Shoes Sports Podcast. You have that new shit where they talk about like Korean pop and all that kind of shit. A bunch of other podcasts that I can't remember on the top of my head because I've been on vacation for the last month.
Why are you doing the promo then?
Because I'm back, bitch. But besides that, the Illuminati Podcast, make sure to check it out. We're going to be coming back from vacation break pretty soon. We're going to have one of our meetings coming up, and then we're going to come out with a new episode. But besides that, I really don't have anything planned for you guys, so just keep checking out the Facebook or any other social media you happen to follow.
Wait, are we supposed to end the show now?
No, I just wanted to throw it out there before I fuck it up later.
Okay.
You fucked it up now.
See?
Really quick though, I guess there's not much else to say here. I mean, because I'm really curious. Like, okay, what the fuck's going on? Blah blah blah. People are mad because of things.
I mean, do you really want to get into it? Because I don't want to start a fight in our comment section.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I
remember the time we talked about them canceling cops, and like we got like 50-year-old ladies like we're trying to report to our managers even though we're self-hired and shit.
Yep.
Meet me in the chat. It's going down.
Good God. There's an echo too, by the way. But no, the thing is though, is like apparently the Senate rejects objection to Arizona's election. Wait, that's just Arizona shit. No, that's what the fuck. See, this is why I don't like this.
Because what's going on right now is your senators are trying to object to the election results. So basically what they did is they object to it on the Senate floor, and now it's just turning up to a vote in which they are going to agree to the objection to do a large recount. More than likely, it's not fucking going to go down like that. I'm actually watching the count go down right now. And even if all the Republicans just said, fuck it, we're going to just agree to this lunacy, they don't have enough of the votes. Because believe it or not, about 36 Republicans said, we're done with this shit. They voted nay on the objection.
That's
Oh wow,
hilarious.
okay. Yeah, because it's
Well,
the
Trump just came out and basically said "fuck you, Pence." So it's like, that's I think that was the last straw for a lot of Republicans, which is hilarious after the last 4 years. But it's like he won't even support his buddy, his vice president. He'll throw him under the bus, and it's like it could tell it's like it's falling apart, man. Like he's not winning, he's losing. He's losing a lot in a row, and he can't handle it. And he's throwing everyone he can. I bet he's gonna throw Melania. He's like, it was Melania. She kept me up all night with her random like makeup.
yeah. I'm just wondering, like, yeah, I don't know if Rudy Giuliani is gonna have anything to do with like trying to, because I mean he's Trump's lawyer. I don't know if he's gonna try to do anything to help him out with these whole 11,000 whatever fuck votes. I don't know if there's gonna be someone in there going to meetings with him with fucking Febreze since he's farting now on live fucking audio recordings.
Honestly, at this point, this is like that them charging the Capitol was their last Hail Mary at trying to preserve like a chance for another 4 years of Trump. At the moment now, if everything goes as according to plan, they're going to confirm Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as the president-elect and vice president-elect. And that just means we just got to wait till January 20th. So as soon as the day actually happens, there's some like special stuff that our government does where like the past president meets the current new president. They shake hands and they have an exchange of powers. Mostly like it's ceremonial shit. I very doubt that's going to happen with Trump. But even if he doesn't show up to the inauguration, it's not going to really like stop anything. Like all the legalities are already in place to kick him out.
Well, shit. I mean, yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I just wanted to get you guys a little aspect on it, or kind of opinion on whatever. But like, yeah, if something more crazy happens, I'll do a little bit of fucking research and talk about it myself, like on Saturday or something. But I don't think you guys want my opinion on that because I think this whole fucking thing's stupid in the first place. But
I mean, it is.
I mean, you're right. I mean, I saw a dude dressed up like a fucking Viking, like charge into the middle of our our actual
They climbed the
House
wall.
of Powers. Like we haven't had our shit invaded since like 1812 or some shit like that.
no, dude, like Alan, like what you said, it's like World War Zombies when they're climbing a fucking wall. It's like this is like World War Z. Like you guys are just a bunch of
World War
cockroaches
Z,
jumping over.
somehow dumber people are involved.
Yeah.
The movie sucks.
Yeah, it really is. But here's the thing, though, guys. We're going to get the fuck out of here. Ganja already did the thing about the Metropolis, but I'll tell you one more time. Go to Metropolis Collective over there on Facebook and watch the Milani Podcast. With that said, you guys hear the music going. My voice is fucking dying. Alan.
Play us all away.
Oh, yes. Alan, thank you very much for the Cobra Kai review, man. Appreciate it.
That show was great. I can't wait for season 4.
Me too. Thank you, Jet.
Unless Netflix cancels it.
Thank you, Roxy. Thank you, Ganja. Thank you, Nick Diaz. Oh, shut up. Anyways, we're fucking out of here. Goodbye. Go watch Chris Herman as we rate him.